Oh man, y'all. So apparently I fell for a whole like Twitter troll thing. I didn't realize Cell was next. I even mentioned that in yesterday's video. So they just announced this is a brand new Strength Extreme Cell, and this dude has a domain, and it's going to be interesting. So let's talk all about this. Now, this is a first look. I actually haven't checked out the stats on this yet, so this will be like a blind reaction. So leader skill is tournament participants or worldwide chaos category. Ooh, those are good categories. HP, of course, key plus 3, all stats 200%. HP 200%, attack and defense 170%. I apologize. Plus an additional HP attack and defense 50%. Okay, in line with the current meta. For characters who are also belonging to androids or accelerated battle. That's a lot of overlap. That's a lot of overlap. Ooh, this guy's going to be good, man. This guy's going to be good. Okay, so let's look at his passive. So activates Santa's animation when there's a tournament participants category enemy or tournament participants category ally at the start of the character stacking turn, which will happen pretty often considering his teammates. So high chance of burning a critical hit. That's okay. So high chance of burning a critical hit. This is on first entrance. Launches an additional super attack. Okay. Creates a domain, Cell Games, for 5 turns. Now, let's talk about that domain real quick, because I do have it over here. So tournament participants category, enemies, and allies. So enemies and allies. Interesting. Attack and defense 15%. I had to absorb that for a second. Androids or Android Cell Saga category enemies and allies. Attack and defense 15%. So this could. I mean, okay. So I shouldn't be shocked by the enemies and allies because the domains usually apply to everyone anyway. So yeah, that actually does make a lot of sense. So anyone that's basically a tournament participants is going to get a huge boost, but a lot of your units you're going to run with him are going to be anyway. So that is a total thing. Now his base stats here are key plus 2 attack and defense 200%, damage reduction rate 20%, which isn't great, but we'll see. Launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack, which is actually pretty awesome. So that's 3 attacks here on turn 1, by the way. Keep that in mind. 3 attacks right on turn 1. Attack and defense up 50% for all tournament participants category, which is actually really good. When attacking with 12 or more key, another attack plus 150%. That's crazy. That's crazy. For every attack performed, defense plus 30% up to 150%. Ooh. Okay, so let's count. That's 5 attacks before you're maxed out. Now, we already have 3 attacks on turn 1. If you put a lot of double attack in him, that's 4 attacks. Ooh. And if you put like, I'm going to say level 20. So level 20 is a 40%, right? 40% then becomes, it's not like 80% after that. It diminishes quite a bit. But I want to say all said and done after the 3rd turn, you get what, like a 60% chance or something like that. So a really good chance of getting the 4th attack. So it's really good. And obviously the higher that number, the better. Revives HP. Okay. When the character is KO'd, revives. Okay. So this is important. When the character is KO'd, which actually is in line with how Cell works in the Cell games. He gets KO'd once, and he will actually revive. So that's really good. But it does not account for your allies. It's only him. At least that's the way I'm reading it here. After the character or allies revival skill is activated. Oh, or allies. So that's actually really good. So even if he's not the one who's knocked out, if say you have somebody on the team that also has a revival skill, so long as they revive. So if any revival goes off, damage reduction rate up 30% temporarily when receiving a super attack. Oh, okay. All right. So only when you're taking a super attack is that damage reduction will go up. But I mean, with base attack, it won't matter anyway. That's kind of an irrelevant way to word it because base attacks shouldn't do that much damage, except in like more I think about it like red zone and stuff like that is where that could actually be an issue. Damage reduction rate of 15% after the character's revival skill is activated. Okay, and that's all times and guards all attacks. So yeah. Yeah. Something to consider there. So here's like the more I digest this, the more I break this down because it took me a minute to kind of like digest all of this. So the high chance of performing a critical hit is like all the time. That's a 50% chance of performing a critical hit. Launches an additional super attack guaranteed, basically from the start and then all the time. That's what that little infinity symbol means. So basically, you're going to get high crit rate and an extra attack. So you want to put everything in double attack. Maybe a little bit of dodge only because the reduction rate is only 20% until he revives. But even after that, I don't know. It's all additive, so you got to consider here. Basically, what he gets a 20% with 50, so 65% damage reduction. That's still, in like red zone and stuff like that, you're probably going to want the clutch save. So, that's something to consider. But you do want at least level 20 or better double attack. Maybe a little lower than that. I don't know. I in this day and age, I kind of do like having a little bit more double attack just because of reasons. Especially with him, it's just going to get better and better. Basically, no matter what, though, you're activating that defense up 150% basically from the second turn. So it doesn't really matter. Let's see what his super attack does, though, too. Okay. We don't have the super attack details here. Let's go ahead and jump over here. Okay. So greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes immense damage to the enemy. So greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn is awesome because that is then going to boost that really well. The problem is when you come back into battle, it's all reset. So I don't see this guy as a slot 1. This is a great slot 2 unit. You could even float him. He doesn't really have anything like all that bad about him. But if you got like good slot 1, slot 2 units, I wouldn't feel too bad about floating him. But, again, he's not got enough damage reduction that in like red zones or blue zones or anything like those really high-end battles that I kind of want to keep him on the front end. I kind of want him to eat damage after he's produced damage, more or less. So that's kind of the way I see that. Let's go back here and look at his active skill. Can be activated when HP is 70% or less, or starting for the 4th turn from the start of the character's entry. Okay, not 4th turn in battle, 4th turns from entry. So turn 4 or above. Let's see, active skill effect, key plus 2 attack and defense, 30% in battle. Well, okay. I'm not impressed. I'm not. Okay, so actually thinking about this for a moment, it really took me a minute to absorb this, because you got to consider the dokkan arithmetic. So like the active skill kind of is like one of the last things in line. So 35% actually could be really, really, really immense. I just have to test them out. Links are, let's see here. Gentlemen, message from the future, Kamehameha, big bad bosses, shocking speed, ultimate life forms, and fierce battle. So good links. Gentlemen and ultimate life forms and message from the future, but Kamehameha, and especially if you have big bad bosses linked up with shocking speed or fierce battle, he's got some good links. They're not mind blowing. Tournament participants, worldwide chaos, androids, accelerated battle, transformation boost, time travelers, artificial life forms, Kamehameha, Android Cell Saga, Target Goku, Power Absorption, Sworn Enemies, and Powerful Comeback. All great teams. So, yeah, this dude is awesome. Now, we got to look at the companion unit as well. And I think it's super rude to put Android 18 as the companion unit, but it is what it is, I guess. All right. So, tournament participants or Peppy Gals category, key plus 3, Peachy Gals, HP, attack and defense 130. For those that played JP back in the day. Basic max attack and defense, is that 180%? It's hard to see from here. The font's a bit weird. Launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack. Randomly changes key spheres of a certain type to rainbow key spheres. All allies key plus 2 attack and defense up 30%. That's actually really good. She boosts everybody on the team. And actually, if you combine her with Cell, like that's going to be a really good boost. She's going to be really good on that team. which is, again, kind of rude to use 18 on that team, but whatever. Tournament participants category allies, attack and defense, and chance of performing critical hit up 18%. Really, 18%? And okay, yeah, it is 180%. Yes. Attack and defense 180%. I get it. High chance of performing a critical hit, launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack. Great chance of evading enemies' attack. There it is. That's awesome. I like that a lot. All right. So Android Assault, Battlefield Diva, Brainiacs, Twin Terrors, which unfortunately only really works with those two. Anyway, Shocking Speed. Actually, no, wouldn't the Gammas do that too? There's probably a few units that do that actually nowadays. Maybe I'm underplaying that. Infinite Energy, Fierce Battle, World with the team categories: World Tournament, Peppy Gals, Majin Saga, tournament participants, androids, siblings bond, worthy rivals, and Battle of Wits. So another really Battle of Wits, great team. Oh my god, Buu Saga, great team. Which is, I mean, I guess it makes sense. I'm nitpicking. There are so many situations where this game, like, just grants weird categories to people that, I mean, you could argue, but then you look at, like, some units, like, I argued forever that Majin Vegeta should have been on the World Tournaments category, like, from when they, category started, basically, and never got it. So it's like, I don't know. Their reasoning sometimes is weird. Her super attack is greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn and causes supreme damage to the enemy. So a good company unit, and she's going to work really well with Cell. Super attack effect great. Oh, we already talked about that. So I don't know why it's. Oh, actually, you know what? Here it is. Greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes supreme damage to the enemy with a great chance of stunning the enemy. Was the one thing we missed on that one. So she's a stun or 2 on top of it. Really? 18's I mean, you're not wrong, but you know what? Moving on. Let's watch the SA animations. Phrasing! Good grief, phrasing! Oh my. Alright, so I've cut down the audio so it doesn't blow you out of the room. We're going to start off with Android 18 here. And can we just talk about how great the animations are now compared to what they were, like, even like 3 or 4 years ago? Like, good grief, the animations have gotten so good and so smooth. Yes! Of course it's that scene. Fantastic. A+ intro animation. Couldn't be happier. All right, y'all nailed it. Y'all nailed it on this one. Oh, so there's this domain. Domain activated. So the background actually changes to the tournament. All right, cool. A little jittery on that, but you know what? Once again, it's a 10-year-old game, and they've had to revamp it a lot to make these animations work the way they do now. So, man, watching the old slow animations is... Oh, here's his revival. Boom! Okay, that actually looks really good. I'm not gonna lie. It's a bit jittery, but also at the same rate, like... Yeah, that looks real good. Of course. It's a must. It's an absolute must. So here's my problem, guys. I need some of the units that are still on the DB Saga banner while that's still around, but I don't know. I might have to save up and do some sell summons. He's gonna be really good. I cannot wait to see what his banner looks like, because his banner should have some really good units on it. I don't know, y'all. I think he's a must-have unit. I think this guy's gonna be awesome. Maybe a little bit flaky defensively. I don't think he's gonna be like a top 3 unit. Not after the anniversary, but I think he's gonna be an awesome leader. So I don't know. I'm on the fence. Should I go back in one more time for Goku, or should we save for Cell? It's a tough call because I do still need to work on my DB Saga team, and we got to finish those red zones. So only time will tell. Anyway, I got to make that decision. Like, share, comment, and I'll be back with more soon.